Hello everyone. Hello everyone. Hello everyone. So this video is just a short video on basically using the justice system. I have had the opportunity to visit the Brooklyn Criminal Supreme Court, and I have also visited other courts in New York a little while ago, and I have interned and visited the Barbados Supreme Court, and I have also visited with visited many different courts in the tier of courts in the UK, and sat with a civil district judge in the civil court that handles small claims. Of small claims, one day multi-track, and um, other many other tiers of the court. So I've been visiting quite a few, and because I have collected many stories and many experiences, and I just want to share some of what I've recognized when you're coming to use the justice system, some tips. So number one, for sure, if you're coming to use the justice system, know your matter. You need to assess, first of all, if the criminal justice system is going to be providing you with the solution that you need or you want. You need to know the intricate details of your matter. This includes you collecting evidence on your matter, not just saying, oh, I have a problem with this and this needs to be solved, but really doing due diligence behind it and making sure you have written records of every stage in your matter, and make sure that whatever evidence you want to provide that speaks to your situation is actually connected. There's a strong chain so that fewer questions are asked. Also, that may require you to do some research. It's okay to speak with friends or speak to people who have been in your situation before and ask them what they've done, but remember that every case that you bring is going to be a separate matter, and you really do need to do your research on it and not rely on what someone else says your experience may be like. In relation to any kind of representation, if you do have representation, try to build a good relationship. And you need to make sure that the person representing you has all of the information. So in as much as you gather all the information for yourself, make sure you pass that along to your representative. Another thing that I've recognized is that you have to follow and recognize that there are procedures, no matter which part of the criminal justice or civil justice system you are looking to relate to. Know the procedure. Everything from what to wear when you're coming into court, to any of the helpful online portals that allow you to file a claim, for example. Follow those all the way through. And if you have problems following those directions, you need to speak with the representatives that are listed as persons or legal aid offices to help you. But you are going to need to follow the procedures. Everything in the justice system is based on procedure. Take your time in as much as any deadlines allow, but follow the procedures. Another thing is understanding and really valuing the jury system. Many people, if they get that letter saying you have been asked to sit on a jury, it's, oh dear, all my days of work are going to be spent at the courts listening to something which I may or may not be interested in. Try to understand that the service, your service as part of the jury, is a luxury. If you take a look at countries that don't have properly functioning jury or justice systems, you will see the repercussions of not having one in place. I know it may be easy to look at the costs that are lost through jury systems, but at the end of the day, justice should be justice made by the people. And the jury system allows, in New York, in Barbados, in the UK, allows the average reasonable man to take part in deciding what justice should look like. Many people would have problems if one individual told them everything they should do, and it was only on that person's decision or that person's perspective that a judgment was made. That can be quite unreasonable. So it's very important for persons to take the time out and bring their perspective to the table and make a decision. You are part of what justice is. Try to keep your biases aside, but you are part of the system that allows justice to come from the people, and that is so important. Sometimes you do not recognize how important some democratic systems and tools are until you lose them. There's a saying that goes, you don't miss the water until the well runs dry. But I would say try not to take jury service for granted. And of my many experiences in the courts, plenty of stories. To my future self, I hope you find yourself on the right side of justice. And in my experience in entering many different kinds of court systems, going through many different kinds of security requirements, I have also learned that it is extremely important for you to keep your head held high, exude confidence, know why you're there, and always never be afraid to ask questions. Never be afraid to push a door. Never be afraid to stop someone and say, I need help with this. Because it is more than likely going to be a new experience. And every time you meet a new experience, you need to come with your A game, always. And finally, I always try to remember that the court system is made up of human beings. These are people who have to wake up and leave their houses every day to come and do sometimes the same kinds of tasks over and over and over again. This applies from a judge all the way down to court security. And so with that in mind, don't glorify them and think that it's this big, hard and tough, magnificent machine that you're coming to interact with. You're really coming to interact with people who need to pay their bills at the end of every month and who are trying to build a life for themselves. Which means the court and justice system, there's nothing to be afraid of. You do need to get what you need out of it. So, I mean, in the UK, for example, I got like a leaflet which tells you, right, so you've got a judgment, now what? It's on paper, but how do you make it practical? How do you make someone pay you money as according to the judgment at the end of the day? If they've never paid before, how do you make them pay you once you've got the judgment? Follow all of these rules and instructions to the end. Remember, it's real people, so you may have tantrums, flaring. It is a system, so many of them can be dysfunctional at different points. Be prepared for that. But work your way through with a level head and get through it. And try to have as few encounters with the justice system as you can, which means try to live your life as clean as possible and build good relationships so that you have to rely on dysfunctional situations a lot less. Alright, that's it for me. Those are just some points that I had on my mind and that I'm sharing. Have a wonderful day, night, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. Bye bye.